Reaper here. Joining me is the Dark Reaper himself, Creighton. Say hello, Creighton.
Hello, Creighton.
Alright, well, that worked for him. We have to tweak one setting, 2 seconds that I see in the corner, because I'm dumb, but you all still hear my voice in the process of me doing these things. Let's turn that off. There we go. There we go. Now we don't have picture in the corner. That was annoying. Either way, E3 has happened. We are going to be going over just a quick little things here and there when I have this up and ready. Obviously, games, lots of news, lots of news. Uh, Things that stood out, things that didn't stand out, people that won, people that didn't win. I personally felt it was kind of nothing that jumped out. Anything you saw that was like, oh my god, groundbreaking?
Nothing that I saw. No, just lots of stuff we've already seen from the previous years.
Well, on that note, we did see a lot of things. We'll go over a couple of these. Let's bring up this first. A huge one I'm excited for, and I was happy to see a lot more gameplay footage. Days Gone, that open world, post-apocalyptic kind of biker gang, zombie-esque shooter, but they're called freakers. They're not zombies; they're freakers. They showed the new gameplay for that. They showed the zombified bear at the end of it. That was awesome. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, that one was okay. I'm not the big fan on the camp for that one. We've been through one too many zombie worlds here. I'm kind of on a burnout right now, so
Well, you know me, like I'm always I got that love in my heart. I'm a diehard holdout for Dead Island 2, which was not at
uh,
E3 this year.
yeah, I don't think it'll happen anytime soon, buddy.
No, but it is there. Sumo Digital, who now has the rights to Dead Island 2, they are making Crackdown 3. Once Crackdown 3 comes out, we'll see what happens. But it's one
Yeah,
of those.
that's what it is. Are they doing it the same way as we're all holding out for Hellboy
Hey,
3?
but I talked about it in the news a few weeks ago. We don't get Hellboy 3, but we get a Hellboy remake. So, eh, we'll see, we'll
So
see.
get it. God.
But in other stuff that we obviously know about, they've talked about this one for a while. I was super excited as well to see gameplay footage of the new Spider-Man, made by Insomniac, PS4 exclusive. Probably had a lot to do with that Civil War kind of thing. But at the end of the trailer, as you can see pictured up, we had Miles. They haven't
Yes.
officially said if he's the Spider-Man in this game that I've seen, but he is there taking that photo, so I
You
don't
know,
know.
I wonder if it's potentially just a skin.
It
You might
could
just
be.
get to play as a model of Miles, but it'll still be Peter.
Okay, well, and they've showed in the gameplay video they were going. Was it Fisk is in there? There's two of these now. There you go, guys. We got I forget the enemy that the was it the Dark Hand?
I
I can't
don't
remember, but there
remember.
was another organization. So it seems like we got Fisk, we got Kingpin, maybe a Daredevil teaser in there, even though obviously not Daredevil from the TV show, but hey, could be something.
Yeah.
So. But other news. Obviously, this one has been jumping around for the longest time. They showed off some more for Beyond Good and Evil 2, more in the aspect from
No,
Ubisoft
I
that it's
wouldn't say that
happening.
they even showed more. They
Well,
actually
okay,
showed something.
they showed something. Yes, we'll give them that. But we actually got a final confirmation that it is happening. Beyond Good and Evil
Yes.
2 will be coming out. So,
Yes, we got I believe we got one of the presidents and the art, or not art director, but the creative producer for the game, both
so,
on stage crying,
well,
saying
yeah.
that it was happening. It's like, oh my god, after all this time, it's like, yeah. How do you think we feel?
Well, and like this is one of those. I know a lot of people were excited about this, and that's cool. I personally never played the first one, so I know a lot of people were, so I wanted to definitely talk about this briefly. But I don't know. First one was never on my radar of something I wanted to play.
Mm.
So I don't know if you were a big fan of the first one at all.
Oh yeah, I have the first one. I've been waiting for it. Granted, this is a prequel, not a
It is.
sequel, so
So
it's not Jade's continuing story.
no. But speaking of other things, if we're going to be on the Ubisoft trail, one of the I don't know if we'll call it a surprise, but I still found this awesome. We got a game coming out called Skull and Bones, which is essentially take everything good about Assassin's Creed 4 and just make a game about it. Made by Ubisoft, made by the same team. It's just pirates, pirate ship battles,
Yes,
and yeah,
it
what else
is
do we
the ship
need?
battle part of that game.
Ubisoft listened, and now the only thing is, will it come out broken? Will it glitch? Will there be floating ships and ships that sink?
I believe there was a playable demo at E3. Like what they were
Okay.
showing gameplay wise, you actually got to play that on the floor. So I haven't seen any videos of anybody stating like, yeah, this was. You can clearly tell this is in alpha or in a beta build, and things were having trouble. So I'd like
And
to see
then,
how more in depth that is rather than just
well,
the show
yeah,
part. That's the actual
it is
gameplay.
very early, and that's the other thing with that one. I hope that there's more than just like here's a ship, build a ship. I don't want a full-on third-person game like Assassin's Creed 4 was, but I want something where there's that little extra element to it. So it's kind of a wait and see, I guess. They just announced it. It was kind of a surprise. I enjoyed it, but we
Yeah.
got a couple other things to go over. Speaking of other games, sequels, they showed off. I don't know if I'm surprised by it, but Bethesda had a lot to talk about this year. We'll get into one other thing after this, but Evil Within 2, we got to see a trailer for it. A lot of cinematics, not really any
There
gameplay.
wasn't any gameplay. There was a confusing cinematic
It was
trailer.
confusing, and if you've played the first one, the whole concept with the I can't even think of the name of the machine, but it's all spoilers. It's all in people's heads. It's not like a real thing that's going on. It's all a machine that's linked into oh, I'm forgetting everybody's name now. Whatever that main villain guy was. Yeah, him.
I,
I can't
that
think of his name.
that
It was an
that
awesome game.
guy.
That guy with the white coat, whose name I forget at this moment in time. But yeah, like the big thing they talked about, I know in the first one, like the main guy, oh, his daughter is dead. Oh, apparently she's not dead, and the machine will help him like figure that out. So I don't know. I know one
I
guy who's
guess.
super excited about this. Like he just, yeah, he lost it when they announced Evil Within 2. So hey, Josh, this is for you, I guess.
Hey, at least somebody's on board.
I'm not against it. Evil Within was awesome, and I do find the twist that it had, where it's like none of this is real. We are all connected to this machine. Found that kind of odd, but still, it was a fun game. It was a good horror game made by the original Resident Evil director.
Yeah, I guess as long as it's not turning out to all be controlled by a dog, it's all right.
No, that's Konami, and we know Konami. Yeah, we'll get into the second Bethesda story I have in a moment. But speaking of Konami, what did they say? Nothing. I can't think of a single
Well,
thing Konami mentioned that I can remember at least.
it's because they probably didn't even have a room there this year. They
They
kind of
probably
probably took the hint from last year and went, yeah, I'm not gonna waste the money.
no, they had a room. It was just happened to be in a casino because don't they like to make casino games now and fitness
Oh well,
games
yeah,
and
well they're in the pachinko area.
there you go. They got pachinko. So, but going back on Bethesda, they showed off a lot of stuff. We got the next iteration of Wolfenstein. Bethesda decided to jump on the VR train with Doom, and something that I'm excited by, even though I'm going to talk about one part I'm not excited by, we get Skyrim VR coming out for the PSVR later this year. And I, aside from how it looks like you can control the game with they've already said, I watched a long developer interview. You can play it with the DualShock controller, fine and dandy, but you can also play it with the Move controllers, which make more sense because I have to reach down and grab one. You get these things, you can use them for your hands for the spells. The only problem with that is no analog stick. Moving is going to be a lot of point to point, like teleportation, for lack of a better term.
Mm.
I don't like that considering they have said this is the full game. This is not like a dumbed down version. This is the entire world of Skyrim.
Hmm.
I know
Yeah,
you're
that
not
sounds
super on
about
board the VR bandwagon, but
I'm not. I don't really care about the bandwagon as much as it's just like, hey, I get
I
to
kind of do. I
have
have
this
this thing,
screen on
so
my eyes.
yeah. Some games are better than others. I've talked like I try every week in the news to mention something VR just because it's not dead. And like Bethesda got on board obviously with Doom VR, Skyrim VR. The PC game Super Hot's going to be coming to the PSVR this summer. That game, if you've ever seen anything on it, looks awesome. I watched Jacksepticeye do a long playthrough of it, so
Hmm.
I'm happy for anything VR. VR.
VR. I'm gonna say it
Yeah,
really
if I say it
quickly.
enough times, maybe it means something. I don't know.
You'll summon a VR spirit.
I think so. I think that's how it works. You know, just oh VR. But other than that, we'll go into one last game that I have here prompted. Obviously, Nintendo was around and they announced many things here and there, but they announced a new Metroid Prime coming out for the Switch. So I don't know because I didn't like Other M, but I know this is not Other M. This is Metroid Prime,
Yeah.
so
So
maybe.
we're hoping that this is just going to erase the mistake that was Other M.
That would be nice, but it's like I'm still not on board the whole Switch wagon just because you can. I my argument is Nintendo has yet to have an original idea in a while, and you can argue that about a lot of developers I know, but it's Mario, Zelda, Metroid now. Mario, Zelda, Metroid, and it's like I want something like Zombie U when it came out for the Wii U was awesome. I love zombies to begin with, but that was something
Yeah, so
unique
that
and
just
different.
spoke to you on that one level,
It did, and it
and
wasn't a
they've continued
family-friendly
that.
game, and it was unique. Like, well, it's a zombie game, so maybe not, but for Nintendo, it was something different that stepped outside of their family-friendly box.
Mm,
So I don't know.
I
I'm still
guess.
waiting on the Switch. Metroid Prime might be something good, but I would kind of like to see a collection. Like that'd be cool if the Switch came out with one, two, and three, and then they released four. So
Now that would be nice.
there's a lot of collections that I'd like to see come out. I'm still. I recently looked into the MotorStorm series to see. It's like, hey, that would be awesome in VR. Too bad that studio's pretty much gone. So
Hmm.
they did Drive Club, which love it or hate it, didn't do that good. And then they did Drive Club VR, which I played the demo, but I'm not going to pay $40 for it because I don't
Yeah.
want to. That's a lot of VR games. Like the price point is the key, where it's like, do I want to spend 20 on it? Maybe. Do I want to spend 40? No. Like
Mm,
Farpoint was one of the few examples. That game was worth, I think, $50. It was worth 50, especially when I reach down here and grab this little thingy that I talked about a few weeks ago. It looks dumb, but it's awesome. I'm holding the VR gun. I think we're calling it the PSVR aim or something. I don't remember.
oh God.
It's I forget its
Shaped
actual
like a
name, but
gun.
it looks like a piece of crap. But when you're playing a game with it, it's awesome. And there's a zombie shooter coming out the end of the month called Arizona Sunshine. It's already been out on PC for a while. It's going to support it.
Wow.
The Brookhaven experiment, which I finally bought because they said it was going to support it, is supposed to have an update. It doesn't yet, but we'll get it. That's a different story. So it's like I hope
No.
developers embrace this thing because it looks dumb, but it's awesome. I kind of enjoy playing Farpoint with it. I forget that I'm holding a weird piece of geometry.
You're asking a lot from them.
I ask a lot. Like my big thing with VR and Sony is they just need to like find. They need to reach down in that pocket, grab that checkbook, and just do what they're doing. It seems like they did that with Super Hot, where they wrote a check and just be like, "Hey, make this game. I'm gonna put a spotlight up because I feel like it." Spotlight. I'm playing with my editor now, but like they just need more of these games that have already been established to come out, and so one last thing we'll get into, and I'm even gonna go against my normal here because obviously me being a Sony fan, we're gonna put up some green lights to talk about this one. We're gonna put one more up, green lights, because we got more information about what's its official name, the Xbox One X, I
Xbox
think,
One X.
formerly known as
Yes.
Project Scorpio or something.
Yep.
So obviously, I'm not the biggest Microsoft fan, so I only know limited stuff about this. But they, the one article I read is they're saying it's going to be the most powerful console, but don't call it next gen. I don't know how to take that. Like you want to say you're more powerful than the PS4 Pro, the Nintendo Switch, but you don't want to be known as next gen just because you don't want to be jumping that
Because
to the
you
next
don't
wave.
want to, well, I mean, you don't want to actually confuse the market by saying, hey, this is the next gen console,
Yeah.
and then people like stop buying the other one, and then they think like, oh, this should be playing like the new games, and it's like, no, they play all the same games. They're just now, you can play them, some of them in 4K, and
Well, and that's something we
some
talked about
things
a while
load a little
ago.
faster.
Yeah, we talked about that on one of the podcasts a long time ago about the whole PS4
Yeah,
Pro jumping to 4K, and then developers, okay, they want to make it for 4K, but then they have to make a dumbed down version of it, and it's like, is it worth the development time to be making two versions of the same game? The frickin' PS3 and 360 had that when the regular Wii or the Wii U came out. Like Call of Duty would come out for those consoles, but then do we make the dumbed down version? Some developers just stopped doing that because why? It's
yeah.
not worth the money. So is now Microsoft going to jump on that same boat where it's like, yep, this is our game, buy it or don't?
I believe they made the stance that pretty much all games will run on both consoles,
And
and
yeah, and well, it has to,
there's
like,
no
because
change really.
that would hurt
There's
so
no
bad if they
change really,
didn't.
because yeah, that would be a really weird. Because it would be a really weird shock for them to be in the middle of a not even which should be an end console cycle, but for them to be like, we made a step up scale to the next level of our games, but now we're also going to make you now no longer support all the old console or the console you had prior, and you basically have to buy a new $500 or $400 console to play all the
Well,
current
yeah.
games.
Well, and
Granted, none
that's
of them have changed. And
that's
some
my
of them are
big
like,
thing
yeah,
with
you can buy
PC
either
gaming.
one.
Yeah, that's my huge thing with like PC gaming. I don't want to be like, ooh, this new game came out. I got to buy a new graphics card just to play it. It's like, well
Yeah.
shit, I don't want to. It's like that's just not what I want to do for gaming. So, but all right, we're gonna wrap this up pretty quickly here. I'm gonna take away these green spotlights and being the Sony fan that I am, I'm gonna replace them with blue ones, obviously. Even though I'm not talking about PS4, I just feel like I want to gaze into the blue lights.
Are we color coding accordingly here?
Maybe I don't know what color Nintendo is. Like I could
Right.
make a joke at Mike's expense and say it's probably brown for crap, but you know.
It's red. Literally,
Okay.
it's
Oh,
red.
it's red. Okay. Well then, hang on. Let,
Mario.
let's do this. We'll be unbiased, and we're gonna bring in all three colors. We're gonna bring in
Oh, look
blue,
at that.
red, and green. Look at that. I'm bathed. Now I'm in like a yellow glow. So that's showing unity
Yes,
here.
because
This is unity.
you're giving them your money. The color of
I
gold.
gave them my
Why?
money. I'm pointing to the
Yes.
blue one. They got my money. They haven't got my money in a long time, and no. But we're gonna end this with one final note. Everything we might have already talked about at E3. I'm getting something ready for what I'm gonna say, but we'll get to that. You don't know what I'm doing. But
No, I
what was your?
don't. It's weird.
You'll
Stuff.
find out when you rewatch this later. That's the joy of you
Yeah.
not seeing what I'm doing on my end. You have no idea.
Yeah.
There.
That does
Oh,
make me
and a
wonder.
spoiler alert: there are two people watching live. Thumbs up for one. Thumbs up for two. Both of you. They are still watching live because it tells me that. Um,
Ah.
but as I was gonna say, with everything that we saw, what was your big takeaway? What was your favorite thing you saw, and what was kind of the meh thing could have cared less about?
My favorite thing I saw. Um. Beside the Beyond Good and Evil 2 trailer, which was
Hmm.
just great but no gameplay.
Yeah, but it was
Um.
something. It was confirmation.
Yeah. I'd probably say the surprising thing was just having the announcement that there was a Monster Hunter for PS4.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people will be huge fans of that. That
A
would
lot of people
get.
are going to be on board for that. I also liked the Anthem thing, but there wasn't like
Oh, okay.
a lot of. It still makes me weary of just that company right now because of how bad Mass Effect Andromeda was.
Yeah, but the one thing I did hear, side note on Monster Hunter, they've talked already that they want to have it the servers open so America can play with Japan and like so on. So
That would be really cool, but it would also
yeah,
probably tell us how badly we are at the game.
yes, it will, but it's something because it's obviously hugely established there. Nintendo's had it
Yeah,
for so long, but now to open up that market gives them some kind of niceness. And is there anything
that's
you
probably
saw?
I'd
Is
say.
there anything you saw that you like weren't impressed by? It's like, oh, that. So
I mean, pretty much the entire Bethesda conference was kind
sounds
of
about
meh
right.
for me. I really didn't care about the VR.
Mm.
I'm totally fine with Wolfenstein. I haven't played any of the oh god, the I cannot remember the other shooter they showed off.
Well, they showed off
Metro. I haven't
Doom.
played off any of
Oh
the
yeah, they
Metros.
did announce the new Metro. That's the
I
first two
haven't
are all
played any of
right.
those.
They're good. They're what they are. They're
So
survival-ish.
yeah,
So
so yeah, no, out of that whole show, I'm like, you guys could have been like Nintendo and said all of this in like 15 minutes with just some trailers. Really,
yeah, they could have. So, and then
save some money.
I'll ask you one last thing. That was there anything that you wanted to see that you didn't see? I know a lot of people
That
I
I
saw on Facebook were bummed out. We saw nothing about The Last of Us 2. We only saw the new
I
Naughty
really
Dog
didn't
stuff.
care too much that I didn't see The Last of
No,
Us 2 because I'm like, we already got
we knew it,
confirmation.
and yeah, they showed that
And
trailer only a few
they,
months
yeah,
ago.
the fact that it's like, oh, it's not coming this year. I'm like, well, that's good. They're not putting in the idea that it's coming anytime soon. So
No, well,
I'm
they don't
fine with
need to.
that.
And Naughty Dog needs
Yeah,
to focus on. They got the Crash series coming out in a couple weeks. They got the Naughty
I'd
Dog,
probably say
whatever, Uncharted Legacy.
I'd probably say more than anything, I'm more disappointed in Square. I'm
Mm.
still waiting for time. And when is this seven thing gonna happen? You guys are they were even talking about that they're looking to announce another project, and I'm like, yeah, but you haven't released
Yeah.
two other projects yet.
Oh, I remember
Let's
how
not
big of a
do
bomb
this.
that was when we did the podcast live E3 show, and then
Oh
just
yeah,
when they announced
that
that, the holy shit moment that we all had. Like, are they playing what we think they're playing?
yeah,
Oh
that
my
just
god, they
shut the
are.
world down.
Oh, that was so
It
good.
did
But now
really
it's
quickly.
aside from a couple things here and there. Yeah, we know it's probably gonna be episodic. Blah 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 blah. They haven't really said
Yeah,
much else. So, well,
they
all
got a
right.
lot of broken glass under their feet right now.
Yeah, so we'll see. But Yeah. Real quick,
How about you?
I'm gonna save this thing that we got here for how we end the video. We'll get to that in a second. My best thing I'm gonna leave for a quick second. Worst thing, yeah, like I don't know. Like Bethesda was, they had one awesome thing we'll get to, but other than that, like it was kind of there's a lot of sequels. Doom VR, I'm a huge fan of VR. Doom VR looks dumb. I need a demo or something because I was not a fan of how it looked.
Really?
Nintendo, I already said I wasn't super impressed just because it's all the same stuff to me. I'm waiting for that one standout title that's something new, an original idea that tries to break that family mold that Nintendo has carved. And I give them all the credit in the world. They're making money off of what works for them. By all means, don't stop. Like the XCOM game, the Rabbids Mario thing you talked about, looks awesome. So stuff like that does look cool, but it's just not what I want to play right now. But like in terms of stuff that I didn't see, obviously I got to make the Dead Island 2 joke again. Where's Dead Island 2? I don't get it. I'll get it after Crackdown 3 maybe. But I don't know. There's the one thing I kind of want to see, and I don't know. Capcom obviously didn't need to say it there since we already know. I'm still waiting to hear on that DLC that's supposed to drop for Resident Evil 7. They said spring. It's summer
Uh,
now, so
yeah.
waiting for the
Well,
Not a Hero, I think it was called, but we'll get to that. But my favorite thing, and that's why we have something ready that you won't get to see until you watch this video live. I have to adjust my headset. 2 seconds here. Yeah.
just
Hang on.
never gonna watch.
Hold on,
Never
baby
watch
birds.
it.
I'll feed you.
Chirp, chirp. Ah,
Alright. See if I can still wear my headset while I wear this. Eh, eh, eh. There we go. Obviously, my favorite thing was seeing, even though I don't like the control scheme of it, Skyrim VR. I've just been wanting an awesome sword magic spell game. I don't like how it jumps with the whole teleporting thing. I kind of hope there's a way around that other than using a DualShock, because that defeats the purpose. But Skyrim VR, I'm excited about. Regardless, they're gonna get me to buy Skyrim for the fifth time.
uh,
I know, I
the
know.
weird
I'm not
Kool-Aid,
proud of
the
myself.
weird Kool-Aid you drink, I don't get sometimes.
Oh, that's so good.
Seriously.
Where's my Kool-Aid cup? I don't even have it. Oh wait, there's my
Uh,
Kool-Aid cup. Hang on. Here's my Kool-Aid cup. See them dollar signs?
yeah.
Oh, that's just for them. Oh, I love the tears that are my own.
Mm, all of my own disappointment. It's delicious. Mm,
Well, like yeah, because the concept of the game is awesome. I love just the whole VR shield sword thing. Just the movements. Probably I don't know. I don't think I'll buy it right at launch unless I see something amazing. But I know I'm gonna
hopefully
pick
it's
it up
not
at some
crazy at
point.
$60 at launch, like a new title or something. That would be the
According
day that I'm just like, wow, Dan, you're done. You don't get to talk.
Well, sadly, according to the PlayStation Store, because this is how the world works, I can pre-order it right now on the PS4 store for $60. So I
Yep.
haven't.
Nope. See.
I know this thing is making me hard to see, but it's worth it. It's worth it for the joke. But yeah, but yeah, another E3. Obviously, not as solid as it has been. Their attendance was decent,
Surprisingly,
so I know they reported
isn't it
what's.
quite? Isn't it a little shocking and surprising that this E3 was actually not as great, and it was the first E3 where the public was
It
allowed to
was.
actually
I was gonna
be
say
in the show?
they
It's like
reported
they almost
64,000 ish attendees, and I think 15,000 of them were the public. So I was like, that's
yeah.
a decent chunk, but yeah, it's what it is. So, but we got some cool stuff. We got some man stuff. They showed stuff we've already seen. It kind of in the age that we live in now, where like every company has their own Twitter, every company has their own Facebook, their own YouTube page. They can release stuff whenever they want. They don't have to go
That's
through all
right.
these giant hoops. Why bother?
Hmm.
But I will say, who is it? I think Gaming Bolt, their YouTube channel had like the best things you didn't see on the E3 show floor. I recommend it. They showed off more, not more games, but more of like the scenery and like some of these elaborate setups that these companies have built just to show off their
Oh
games.
yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
freaking so Days Gone had a giant replica. Like they had the motorcycle there. The actor who plays the main character, Sam Whitmore, showed up and was doing photos on it. So it's like they put effort into their visualization, but not really their
hmm
game. Even though their game still
Yeah.
looks awesome, I'm buying it.
The show floor is what's really impressive about it because some of
Yeah,
the models that they make and stuff. Yeah, I have a friend who was there. He
nice.
actually works for Bungie. He's one of the producers on the game.
Okay.
Man, he was taking pictures of some of the modelings and things there. It's like, yeah, they're not like tall, they're not like small models or anything like that. They're
No, no.
life size things. They're
Oh,
just
there's big
huge.
dragons. There's all sorts of cool stuff. So
Oh
definitely
yeah,
check out their
there's
page for that.
really
But
cool.
But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this video. I have no idea how long we're running. To the two people that are still
Too long.
watching
I'm
live,
already napping.
you're already napping? Okay, well we're ending right now. I have to do what I do. To the two people that are still watching, boom boom, you each get one of these. Thumbs up for both of you. Thank you for tuning in. Uh, I appreciate you watching this. News videos try to do every week, gaming videos, all sorts of other stuff, all these things and more. You know, if you get in sports car. Uh, Say goodbye, Creighton, Dark Reaper.
Goodbye, Creighton, Dark Reaper.
All right. Thanks for watching. I'm, of course, Dan on Paper. I'll see you all next time. Peace.